Once upon a time, in a faraway village in the east, lived a girl called Ijeawele. Ijewele was born with supernatural powers that could heal any sickness at all. All Ijewele had to do was to lay her hands on the sick and they would be healed instantly. However, the downside of this power is that anytime Ijewele healed the sick, she grew older. Her mother told her of her powers before she died and warned her never to tell anyone about the powers. So Ijawele kept her powers a secret as she could not bear turning sick people away. Ijawele lived with her father Mazi Obi, her stepmother Nkechi, and her stepsister Ogadi. Ijawele was a very beautiful and hardworking girl, and her father loved her so much. Her stepmother and stepsister hated her and would always maltreat her, especially when her father was away. They never hid their hatred for her, but still, Ijawele respected them so much and never hated them. Whenever Mazi Obi would buy gifts for everyone in the household, Nkechi and Ogadi would take Ijawele's gifts and burn them to ashes. They always made sure that Mazi Obi was out of the house whenever they carried out their wicked and heartless acts. Nkechi, her stepmother, even went further to threaten Ijawele that if she ever reported them to her father, that they would all kill her. Ijawele lived like a stranger in her own home, and this went on for years. One day, Ijawele's stepsister Ogadi fell very sick. Mazi Obi and Nkechi, her mother, tried all kinds of herbs, but nothing seemed to be working. Ogadi's illness got worse as the day went by. This broke Ijawele's heart as she could not bear to see Ogadi in so much pain. So she decided that she would secretly heal Ogadi late at night when everyone would be asleep, as she could not risk anyone finding out about her powers. When night came, Ijawele snuck into Ogadi's room and quickly laid her hands on Ogadi's chest. Immediately, Ogadi got healed. Then Ijawele ran out of Ogadi's room as fast as she could. What she did not know was that her stepmother Nkechi saw everything that had happened through the window. And whilst Ijawele thought no one saw her, her stepmother was making some dreadful plans. By morning, Mazi Obi was shocked at Ogadi's miraculous healing, and he began to dance, thanking the gods for healing his daughter. Little did he know that it was Ijawele who healed Ogadi, but Nkechi knew and kept it away from her husband, Mazi Obi. Few days passed, and Ijawele was at the back of the house, breaking some coconuts, when her stepmother Nkechi approached her. "You never told us about your powers," she said, and Ijawele paused and pretended not to know what she was talking about. Then, Nkechi narrated how she saw Ijawele healing Ogadi, and this made Ijawele shudder. Nkechi then told Ijawele that if she wanted to leave, that she would do as she is instructed. Nkechi went on to tell Ijawele that she would have to use her powers to make money for her by healing anyone she brought to her. Ijawele tried to explain to her stepmother that the more she heals people, the older she will get, but Nkechi was not ready to listen or understand. Nkechi went on to threaten Ijawele that if she went against her plans, that the whole village would hear about her powers. Immediately, Ijawele broke down in tears as she was scared of what would become of her if she healed so many people. Nkechi, of course, did not care, as she was focused on the money she would make from her newfound healing business. Nkechi began to approach sick people in the village, promising them that she could heal them for a fee, and soon later, Ijawele was healing not less than 10 people daily. These frequent healings began to make Ijawele age. She began to look older, and her face began to have wrinkles. Ijawele could not tell her father all that had happened because of the numerous threats from her stepmother. So one day, Mazi Obi traveled to the neighboring village to see his brother, Mazi Nduka, and immediately he left. His wife, Nkechi, saw it as an opportunity to make more money, and she made Ijawele heal people day and night. Ijewele healed and healed and healed. And even whilst Ijewele was healing, Nkechi and her daughter Ogadi refused to give Ijewele food or water. They also refused Ijewele from leaving the room where she healed people, as they thought she would run away. And this went on for days till Ijewele fell terribly ill. Even in her sick state, Nkechi made Ijewele heal more people, and the more she healed, the weaker and older she became. One day, Nkechi brought an old man for healing, and when the man saw the state of Ijewele's health, it made him so sad, and he decided to save Ijewele. When Ijewele stretched forth her hands to heal the old man, he held her hands and stopped her. Then he placed his own hands on her chest and healed her immediately. Ijewele was in shock and complete confusion. "I'm no longer weak and old," she said, and she was excited. She was completely healed and no longer aging. Then she asked the man, "Are you also a healer? I thought I was alone. How did you find me?" The man then went on to narrate that he was at the farm when he heard two men discussing. They talked about a girl who could heal people, and immediately he heard about this, he began to look for this healer. It happened that this old man was once a very young and handsome man. His name was Nnamdi, and he was a healer and an age restorer. He could heal people, and he could also make people younger. He was very young when he found out about his powers, so he began to use his powers to make money, and this made him old and frail. So when he heard about Ijewele, he had to find this healer to see if she was a healer and an age restorer like himself. Ijewele was amazed to see a fellow healer, but she was unsure of if she could actually restore his age, as her mother never told her about the age restoring powers. So the old man asked her to try and see if she could restore his age. And immediately Ijewele put her hands on his chest. He transformed into this very handsome looking man. He was so young and handsome, and Ijewele was amazed at what just happened. She never knew that she was also an age restorer. They were both excited, but paused when they heard some commotion outside. They both rushed to see what was going on and caught sight of Mazi Obi and Nkechi arguing. It happened that Mazi Obi cut his journey short and arrived earlier than planned to see sick people lined outside his house. When he asked them why they were all gathered there, they narrated to him that they all came to see the healer that lived there. He was so furious and confronted Ijewele, who told him all that had happened. This made him even more furious, and he sent his wife Nkechi packing, as he could not believe that she could be this heartless. Ijewele and Nnamdi now fell in love with each other, and Nnamdi asked Ijewele to marry him. They both believed that it was fate that brought them together, and soon later, Nnamdi came with his people to see Mazi Obi to do the traditional rites, and Ijewele and Nnamdi got married and lived happily ever after. The lesson to be learned from this story is that some bad situations can lead to good endings. So never give up, because your destiny helper might just be on the way. Also, do not oppress people because you feel you have the power to do so. Always be kind. Thanks for listening. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It helps us grow our channel. I'll see you in our next story. Bye.